Back here at home, we return to the opioid crisis facing our state. In the last year alone, the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families has responded to more than 3,000 cases of substance-exposed newborns. And by that, we mean exposed to drugs before birth. Many had to be placed in foster care. So what is it like to care for such kids? And how does it affect their development? Stephanie Lydon spoke to a pair of nurses with a unique perspective.
For Tammy and Shelley Sepulveda, having a big family wasn't exactly the plan, but it sure has become their reality.
There's Abby! Hey!
Hey! There's 7-year-old Abby, her 6-year-old brother Tyler, Shailene, also 7, and 10-year-old Sam. He's the big brother and the couple's only biological child.
None of us are related by blood, but we are definitely a strong family, and these kids, they stick up for each other. You would never know they weren't related by blood.
Who wants a Rice Krispie treat?
And looking at them now, you would never guess their 3 adopted children started life with an awful inheritance. Their mothers used opiates during pregnancy and passed on their addiction.
He was born very addicted to drugs.
And when those drugs wore off, Tyler, born weighing only 3 pounds, suffered through the painful symptoms of withdrawal.
Describe how his body is. Aren't the opiate-addicted babies generally, their bodies very tense?
Yeah, so tense, clenched fists,
They're
curled
jittery,
toes.
they sweat,
yeah,
they
jittery.
sneeze.
They're going through detox.
They're
like
going, yes, they're going through it, and you just have to comfort them.
Their expertise is more than personal. Both Shelley and Tammy are neonatal intensive care unit nurses. They've taken care of medically compromised infants for years. But it's what happened to this baby, a boy named Isaac, that changed the course of their lives.
In the hospital.
Took care of him.
I took care of him in the hospital, right.
For 6 months.
For 6 months. I went with him the day he went to the foster home. And as soon as I saw the foster home, I knew. I had that gut feeling and like, ugh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. So I expressed that to the caseworker, but she said there's nowhere else for him to go.
Baby Isaac died in foster care. It motivated Tammy and Shelley to open up their own home. In all, they've fostered 16 newborn babies. Tyler was going to be their last, but 2 years ago they moved from Arizona here to Braintree so Shelley could take a job at Tufts Medical Center. 10 to 15 opiate-addicted babies are born at this hospital or one of its affiliates each day. And one of those babies remained hospitalized for 3 weeks after he was treated because there was nowhere else for him to go.
They couldn't find a home for this baby, and we're like, oh my gosh, well, we could definitely give him a home. How can we say no?
Shelley and Tammy asked us not to show the baby's face. He's at the center of a court case, which they hope will ultimately allow them to adopt him. They can't save every child, but Tammy and Shelley can share their experience. It runs counter to the little that is known about fetal opiate exposure. There's evidence that suggests it impacts behavior and brain development. But Shelley and Tammy say their children are thriving. In particular, they point to Shailene. Of all their kids, her addiction was the most severe.
She's probably the smartest one in our family. Don't let anybody else hear that. But she was reading books in kindergarten, like just reading on her own. She can read chapter books right now. I mean, she's only in 2nd grade, and she can read.
Your experience is that children can recover
Yes.
from that early addiction.
100%. If you give them an environment where they have that love and that bonding and, you know, just
stability,
they can
thrive.
Stephanie Lydon, WGBH News.
Compared to a typical newborn, babies born addicted tend to sleep less and need more holding and light kind of interaction. Shelley and Tammy say in their house the baby swing gets a lot of use. We continue the conversation on the opioid crisis facing our state and the nation every week, so join us here Monday right here on Greater Boston.